question is, why would the pigs, after being entered into by the legion of demons, run down the hill and drowned to their deaths?
Pastor Ray.
I have a sermon on this. I've been preaching through Matthew, so you can go on our website and look at my sermon. I call it the demonic witness to Jesus Christ, and that's really what we're seeing here. To go to the story, Matthew has the account, Mark, but Jesus is in the Gadarenes. He meets two demon-possessed men. They're exceedingly fierce. One says, what do we have to do with you, Jesus? Have you come here to torment us before the time? And a good way off, there was a herd of many swine feeding. Mark says about 2,000. The Gadarenes or the Gergesenes, depending on the manuscripts, is just a little bit southeast of the Sea of Galilee. It was in the inheritance of Manasseh. This is the Holy Land that God gave to Israel. There shouldn't have been any pigs there. I mean, this was a great transgression on the part of the Israelites. And so what happens is the demons beg Jesus, don't send us into the pit. Now, Jesus isn't having mercy or compassion on demons when he lets them go into the pigs. When they see the swine, they recognize disobedience. They know God allows them sometimes to be used by God to punish the disobedient. We see God all the time doing that with allowing a demon to do this or an evil spirit to do this, come upon Saul, for example. And so they see this disobedience. They ask Christ for permission to go and punish his people. By entering these pigs, and Jesus permits them, and they immediately destroy them, because that's what Satan does. He's the destroyer, Apollyon. He is a murderer from the beginning, and so they bring this judgment to the people, and that's what's going on. That's why that happens. And then it's funny, because then the people find out about it, and they beg Jesus to depart, because they would rather have pigs and be pig farmers against the law of God at that time than to have Christ there deliver them from that. And so I think this is showing the unbelief of God's people at the time, and Christ bringing some judgment to an area that was in great disobedience.
Just a point of clarity, since you've done research on this, were the Gadarenes Jews? Were they Jews there?
It's hard to tell because it's way after but remember the mixed breed of the Samaritans were north, but Manasseh, this is the inheritance of Manasseh.
So it was the inheritance, it was the land
It was part of the land that God counted Israel, I think, at least until he removed their, nation in 70 A.D.
Any other thoughts or comments on this?
There was a couple of thoughts that I had. First of all, the pigs commit suicide.
Oh, gee. Okay, well, moving right along here.
Well, the other one I was going to say deviled ham, but
I was just sad about all that bacon being lost. That was really heartbreaking.
But I think Ray hit the nail on the head when he talked about the fact that these were probably Jewish farmers, and according to Leviticus, they should not have been dealing with pigs anyways, and so. He asked the question, why did they go to their death? I think that was a form of judgment upon the people for doing something that was against the law.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Well, I'm going to take a different swing on this. As I was reading through this, one of the things I think it shows the grace of God as well. Think about that. Those pigs did not stand a chance. The moment those demons went into there, it drove them off the cliff. This man had been possessed by these for however long, and he still was there. And how he was able to be delivered, and I think it showed the severity of how filthy these demons were, that it caused that suicide, as you called it, of all those pigs, and how this man was still there. And it shows us also the power that God and the authority God gave man. Because you had 2,000 demons in this man. He's still alive. Now, he could have killed himself just like the pigs did. That same spirit that was in those pigs was in him.
It's incredible to think about. All those inside that one man.
And he's still there.
Yeah.
So when I looked at that, I was like, wow, it showed us immediately that they died, the grace of God. How even when people are demonically possessed, how God's hand may still be upon them because he knew a day of deliverance was coming for that man. And Jesus still preserved him, even in his ignorance and in his sin or whatever it could have been. God still preserved him for that time. So that was another twist that I kind of took on that.
It's interesting because I love that twist on that. I was wondering about Jesus' mercy on demons in a way, whether or not these were fallen angels, beings he created, beings he knew, and that he was having mercy. But I like your take on it as well. Yeah.
Can I just say something what Jay said, because I like that. I think you also see here the fact that the demons had to ask permission before they could even go into pigs. I mean, God cares enough about animals that they have to get his permission to even do that.
That's right. That's right. Well, good question.